Brambro back with some Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts in the beta 1.06. And today we are starting a new campaign. I'm going to go with, I think, Austria-Hungary and see how we do. Did have an Italy campaign going. It was going well. Was enjoying that. It ended rather abruptly because we are in the 1.06 beta, which is being updated quite frequently by the developers, which is fantastic. I think there's good things going on with this game. However, those updates, some of them are pretty substantial to the point where it pretty much wrecks the existing saves. And that's what happened to the Italy campaign. There were some pretty drastic ship design changes, so continuing that game would have been a bad idea, even had I wanted to. I didn't even have the option. I came back in and continue campaign was grayed out. The only reason it's not grayed out at the moment is because I did start an Austria campaign. I just messed up the settings, and so I got to start over again. So here we go, Austria-Hungary. There we go. We're going to start at 1910, I think. I'm going to leave it on normal, just like the last Italy campaign. So we'll stick with historical. And I think this time around I'm going to create my own ships. Okay. And this loading screen can take quite a while, so I'm just going to put a cut in here, and I'll be back when we are ready to go onto the world map. Right, here we are on the world map. It is January 1910. Everybody is ostensibly at peace at the moment, is my understanding. So let's have a quick look through here at politics. Everyone's average on tech, yeah. Obviously, Britain and Germany are the big dogs. In terms of size of economy, Italy, France, and ourselves, all about the same, similar growth rates, similar naval budgets. And Italy and France both have a fleet of 46 ships for Italy and 50 for France. And from what I've seen before, these current relations, this will change as we start rolling, I think. I mean, this is showing here that no, this looks about right. We're not buddies with Britain and France. We are buddies with Germany. Yeah, that tracks. It's showing 0 for Italy right now, but I'm like 90+% sure that relations with Italy are going to start to deteriorate pretty quickly as we start moving along. Finances. Okay, so we have a shipyard capacity of 31,000 tons. That's pretty big. I don't think I'm feeling a need to start increasing that. Now this does scale. That doesn't mean you can build any ship less than 31,000 tons. As the smaller ship classes, as they increase in tonnage, proportionally the largest size you can build is affected by shipyard size as well. And something like a heavy cruiser or light cruiser, we might get tonnage limited because of this, even if that tonnage is less than 31,000. I'm not sure I explained that very clearly, but there are reasons to increase shipyard size, even if you don't intend to build a ship, like a battleship or battle cruiser, quite that big. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to max out crew training. The level of crew training affects ship performance a lot in this game, as it should, I think. And is, I've always perceived that dollar for dollar, money going into crew training is probably about the best return on investment as exists in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought campaign. That's my opinion. We know we want a little bit of GDP increase, so we'll put a little bit of money into transports. This may go up or down. Let's put it at 0.15% for now. And so we are pretty much the smallest Navy, and will stay the smallest Navy. Having tech on our ships and trying eventually in the campaign to get to a tech advantage is pretty important. Whether it's possible or not is a different story. But we're never going to have a large Navy. So it better be, so the few ships we have better be a good one. Let's start it at about 85%. And hopefully don't have to ever drop it too far below that. Okay, I think that will do for here. Let's just have a quick look and see where we're at on research. What is close? What is within a year? Okay, we've already got turbines. Geared steam turbines we'll have in less than a year. Experimental Dreadnought 2 hull, we'll have that in, I can't quite tell if that's an 8 or a 9. I think that's 9 months. Okay. Up a 14,500 ton heavy cruiser next month. However, we have a 14,000 ton heavy cruiser now. I don't know if I'm going to wait a month to design a cruiser. And I am going to build a heavy cruiser, but I'm going to do it now, because if I wait a month, then I have to actually build them. The cruiser I design now for campaign start, boom, we have them. We need to start with a Navy, so I'm not going to wait for this. What else is close? Torpedo 3 in 3 months. Internals. Citadel improvement in 4 months. Okay. Those could come into play. Cordite 2 coming soon. I'm not hugely... I don't know if I'm going to use this, because both Cordite... Now, it is better than Cordite 1, but they're both high flash fire chance. I think I'm just going to wait around for TNT and then just use the ballistite until then. I'm a big fan of other ships going boom when I hit them with my shells, but I'm not a very big fan of my own ship going boom, so... Okay, pretty much. What are we getting for torpedoes? Torpedo launcher Mark III. That's still 10 months away. I don't think I can wait for this for my first destroyer. Alright. And of course we have no ship designs yet, and no fleet. Okay, so here's my thoughts on how I'm going to play this thing. We just have the 3 ports. And we only have, basically, as far as we're concerned, there's really only one sea region, the Eastern Mediterranean. The good news is that simplifies things. And the bad news is we're pretty limited. Our 3 ports added together are just a hair over 500,000 tons total. And that's as big as a Navy's going to be for the whole. Up until recently, that was as large as the Navy could be for the entire campaign, because the port capacities don't increase, or at very least up till now have not increased. In one of the last 2 updates, there is a a note, a statement in the notes that is a little bit ambiguous because it talks about some things scaling through the campaign that haven't scaled very well or not at all before, which is good. It's just a little bit not clear because port capacity was not explicitly mentioned as one of those things. Maybe it is. We'll see. If we get to like 1920, 1930 and these port sizes are bigger, well, great. Until I see that, I'm going to assume that they're not. That, you know, Spalato is still going to be 185,000 tons, you know, in 1945. Our primary adversary is almost certainly going to be Italy, and Italy's ports all added up together are about, it's over 1.5 million tons. So theoretically, Italy could build 3 times as large as a navy as we could, just in terms of what they're able to base in their ports, their port capacities. Now, Italy's economy is about the same size, so you know that would be pretty unlikely for them to do that. But they do, but that flexibility is there, and our basic strategy, I think, has to kind of account for that. Italy's 5 Eastern Med ports add up to a little over 500,000, 570,000 tons. So they've even got a little bit more port capacity in this sea region than we do. All right. It is because of the size of our port capacities and the location of all our ports in just one sea region, it is extremely unlikely that we're ever going to be able to impose a blockade on any of our enemies. But it is quite important to ensure that none of our enemies can ever impose a blockade upon us. So I am going to put a lot of emphasis on maximizing our power projection in the composition of the fleet, as opposed to optimizing for combat performance in the tactical battles, right? I mean, there's kind of two wars, not two wars, but there's kind of, the wars are fought on kind of 2 levels. There's the tactical battles, right, where the ships actually sail around and shoot at each other and all that sort of thing. And then here on the campaign map, there's the power projection battle, and which results in either the imposition or the avoidance of a blockade. Because, you know, you get a blockade slapped on somebody or on yourself, and that's a pretty substantial economic effect. So we want to avoid that. So what I'm thinking here is, we know we got to have a pretty small navy. It's got to be effective when fighting on both levels there, the power projection and in the tactical battles. And we don't have all that much port capacity in which to base this navy. So I'm not going to build like all 5 ship types and build a whole bunch of each of them. So it's going to be fairly limited. And what I think I'm going to try here, and let me just start off by saying, I am not saying this is the optimum way to play this game. There's lots of different ways to put your fleet together, and you know, radically different fleet compositions can succeed just as well. All right, so I'm not saying this is the way to play. All right, that's out of the way. I'm gonna do just a few, like, no, you know, cost is no object, with all the bells and whistles, expensive capital ships, something like 4 to 6 of them. You know, I think they're probably going to be battle cruisers. So we're going to have a few battle cruisers that you know, as any battle cruiser, is the idea behind it, can just wreck pretty much anything it runs into, up to and hopefully including Italian battle cruisers, and is fast enough to run away from Italian battleships. So it's going to have some speed, it's going to have some firepower, and but it's going to be, I don't want to say under armored, lightly armored, but it's not going to be heavily armored. It'll be kind of adequately armored if we're lucky. In the sense that I'm going to basically roll the dice and hope that the Italian battlecruisers don't mount higher than about a 12-inch gun, which is I think a fairly safe assumption. I'm thinking probably about 12 inch is what I'm going to try to armor the battlecruiser against, and then put everything else in firepower and speed. Okay, so that's the battlecruiser class, and that is what I intend is our primary fighting ship, right? The ship class that's going to carry water for us in the tactical battles. And occasionally they'll run away, but more often I think that they will wreck Italian warships pretty good. That does leave the battleships. All right. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build a few, not tons of them, but a few, probably about six or eight destroyers, and so that at least some of the time we'll have kind of a nice little destroyer squadron available to us to execute ambush torpedo attacks, shoot up convoys, that sort of thing. And then the third class of ship I intend to build is a cheap, not very good armored cruiser, heavy cruiser. Just as cheap as I can make it, but also as high tonnage as I can make it, and as high a range as I can make it. And that's going to be our power projection ship. And the reason I'm picking the heavy cruiser for that is because, in general, the heavy cruisers tend to, depending on all your choices and armament and components, but in general, they tend to average out to be a little cheaper than the other ship classes do. And so if I'm just pursuing kind of big picture, most tonnage for least cost per ton, I think heavy cruiser is the way to go there. And so basically something like 4 to 6 of these battle cruisers, 6 to 8 of these destroyers for the tactical side, and then just as many crappy, cheap of the heavy cruisers as I can possibly afford, both in terms of money and in terms of port capacity tonnage. Now sometimes those heavy cruisers are still going to get pulled into battles, and so I'll try to arm them in such a way that they'll be able to do something when they do get pulled into battle. But we're going to lose some of those along the way, I have no doubt, and that's okay because they're cheap and we'll just build more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go in and design these things. Now, I know a lot of people like to watch the design process. That can take a while. So the rest of this episode is pretty much going to be taken up with designing ships. And I'm going to chapter it out. So at the end, when they're done, I will summarize what they look like and chapter it. And you can skip ahead to that if you like. in which case this will be a pretty short episode for you. For those who like to watch the sausage being made, here we go. You're probably in for the rest of the afternoon or the rest of the evening watching this. Okay, let's get the kind of the easier one out of the way, and let's slap together a piece of crap heavy cruiser. Yeah, 14,000 tons. We want maximum range on this thing. We're trying to maximize tonnage, which we're doing here. It's as big as we can go, and we're trying to maximize range because this is the other primary attribute that goes into the power projection. Everything else is pretty much a luxury, and we're trying to keep the cost down, but we've got to get it up to 14,000 tons. Okay. Okay, we'll keep it max bulkhead. How big a change does that make? Wow. We'll keep it max bulkheads. A crew core, this is a good way here to add tonnage without spending a whole lot of money. See, we just added some tonnage there without spending a dime. However, that also means more crew. We're going to have a ton of these things. And I don't want them sucking up, the crew pool is also finite. So I'm just going to keep it cramped. We do not want oil, that's expensive. I think we can improve boilers though, a little bit. Oop, that's kind of loud. We'll stay on the basic expansion engine. I do want them a little maneuverable, They are going to be in battles. I don't really like being hit by torpedoes, and I think these don't add that much cost. Okay. When designing a ship for this purpose, it's important to stay with the lowest available armor, because we're wanting more tonnage at low cost. Better armor means higher cost for less tonnage. So this works exactly opposite what we're going for. And all this stuff is too expensive. Yeah, we're not going to do a citadel. We're not going to do anti-flood and anti-torp. I think we can do reinforced bulkheads though. That's not too bad. Really, before fooling with all this stuff, we ought to just plop on our these look fairly linear. Like the cost per ton of these is probably all kind of in the same ballpark. We're going to go for the big ones. They are going to have to shoot. May as well give them the best accuracy we can. And yeah, they're more expensive, but I think, I mean, I didn't really calculate it out, but it kind of looks like they're not all that different in cost per ton. Okay, well, we're going to need this thing faster than 18 knots, that's for sure. Oh, don't need that fast. Let's just go like 24 knots, which is fairly slow for 1910, I think. Now, what kind of smoke interference do we get with dual medium? 46. Well, but do we need 65%? Let's... How about just big funnel? I think I can live with that. %, 10. Oh, wait. Yeah, 37%, 10 smoke interference for a minus 3.2. I think that's all right. Will a 6-inch gun perch on that? I bet it does. Yeah. Let's move that bar bed back a little bit. That may have been just pretty much where I had it. I don't know. That's better. Okay, I think that's like an okay main armament for a cheap armored cruiser. It's a little light, but you know, these 6-inch guns will tear up light cruisers and destroyers just fine. And let's go ahead and give them a little bit of capability, penetration versus enemy armored cruisers by let's up their caliber a little bit. Let's make them 6.5s. And let's increase their how high does it go? Yeah. Okay, so these are 6-inch guns, but they are longs. And they should have pretty good penetrations. You know, still not all that great. 8 inches at 2,500 meters, which is pretty much like knife fighting distance. Well, that's what I'm going with. Again, these aren't intended to be our primary battle fighting ships. Now we should be able to reduce its pitch a little. We got a lot of dead space. Why? That's not affecting the roll or the pitch at all. Well, very, very tiny amounts. Actually, we should move this back a little bit. Move the funnel back a little bit. The forward tower back a little bit. Need some separation there. Okay. Man, that's not affecting the pitch hardly at all. I understand that they lessened the effects of pitch and roll, but man, I feel like they overdid it a little bit. Meaning, lessen the ability to affect pitch and roll. I think they went a hair too far. Just my opinion. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back later and work the weight offset again. That didn't have the effect I wanted. Let's finish putting our doodads on here. Rangefinder, yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go with the coincidence rangefinder, best one we got. I think we can enhance their reloading okay. What's our flash fire chance? It's not stupid bad yet. I think these things are mostly going to be firing HE, but I do want to leave some adequate AP for fighting enemy heavy cruisers. Let's go with increased HE, at least for the mains, for the 6.5 inch guns. Let's go capped for. I think we better go capped ballistic for the best penetration we can get. And then for the HE, something more middle of the road. Let's go with soft capped. I want basically the least volatile propellant I can get away with. That one's a plus 7.5. Yeah, let's go with ballistite. And dunite's all we have for bursting. Okay, so it's standard. Let's just use 5,000 meters. 5.4%. If we go heavy, it becomes, well, it's staying the same at 5.4%. So we're not actually dropping accuracy. What happens if we go back? 45.15, 5.4. It's actually very small changes to accuracy. Get more penetration and more damage with this. And our flash fire actually didn't go up all that much. Okay. Let's put some barbette on there. No, I still need some casemate guns. Alright. Okay, so mainly what we're looking at for casemate guns is obliterate destroyers. I think 3-inch will do that. I don't see the reason to spend, well, we can't put 3-inch in the hull casemate. Can we put 2-inch in the hull? Nope. Well, what the hell goes in here? Oh, Okay, you have to back up. Well, so we're pretty much committed to 4-inch guns in the hull. I do want a lot of secondaries to go against destroyers. I'd rather they were 3-inch. Man, that did a number to pitch and roll there. Oh my goodness. Okay. Should we give it a torpedo launcher? I think we should. I don't think we need any, I think standard's fine. No, let's go fast. Let's go with the 18-inch. Standard ammo, though, is fine. These are pretty small guns, which means they're going to fire, even with the long barrels, they're going to fire pretty fast. Let's go with increased. What does that do to flash fire? Okay, 11%. I think I can live with that. Cost is a little bit more than I would like. But we need to, we're at just about 12,000, so we need to load on some more armor. And enemy heavy cruisers, probably about 7-inch. 7-inch Mark II, let's say at 5,000 meters, 13 inches. Yeah, a little bit more than that. Let's call it 14 inches. We do have the Harvey. It's giving us 50%. So for effective 14-inch, we need about 9.5-inch main belt. Oh wow! Boy, that goes fast. Okay. Not that interested in 4.5 belt. Basically, I'm going to use those to help fine-tune offset later. And what about what should we aim for on the main deck? About 3 inches effective. So we just need probably, let's go 2.5 on the main deck. It should pretty much make it impervious to 7-inch guns. Well, they may be higher than that. Yeah, that's plenty. What about, wow. Let's give it a little bit more main belt. Let's go to 12. Well, we don't want our 6-inch guns getting knocked out, so let's pile on a bunch of armor for them. It's as high as it goes. Give them 3 inches on the top. Let's max out the... Let's just see how high up the bar bag goes. Okay. And dial it back down to 5. Okay. I'm not really worried about these secondaries. And I'm not going to increase their length either, because that would help penetration and accuracy, but you know, we're talking 3 and 4 inch guns. It's all about the rate of fire. I'm even tempted to maybe even shorten them a little bit for a higher rate of fire, but I'll just leave it the way it is. Okay, we still need to pile on about 1,000 more tons here. Just ease up speed or not. What does that do to us? Well, it brings our engine efficiency down. It does. Okay. What else in here? I think we're just going to pile on more armor. At this point, just to get weight rather than... Let's add an inch fore and aft. It gets us close. We have a 16% forward weight offset. Fantastic. Which means I'm going to have to move everything aft a little bit. Okay. Getting closer. Nope, that's too much. Just shave 1/10 of an inch off the foredeck. Boom. Okay. Got a few more tons to get on here. Superstructure is neutral, so okay. Really? Okay, there we are. 14,000 tons, and we're paying 11.2 million for that. does that work out to be? That is $802 per ton, which was almost exactly on my target for cheap power projection tonnage. There we go. So there you have it. Not a very good ship in battle, but performs its purpose for max range cheap tonnage. Oh my god, that's a mouthful. The Kaiserin und Königin Maria Theresia class. Yeah. Let's see something shorter. I know it's going to make ships with names like that, but let's just call it the Kaiserin class. There you go. All right, that's one done. Right, so let's make ourselves a new little destroyer. Well, before I hit save design, I should have double checked some of these numbers. We know it's about 30% engine efficiency, 10% smoke interference. That's good. That's good. What was our flash fire? Under 12%. That's pretty good. All right. So she should kind of do okay in battle against light cruisers, destroyers, and maybe at least damage enemy heavy cruisers before they sink her. Okay. New design. And apparently all we have is the large torpedo boat hull. I can't say I'm super excited about that. What's the max tonnage we can do on this thing? 750. Alright. Well, we need a main tower. I really like making gunnery focused destroyers. I just don't think that's going to work here. And the main reason I'm building these at all is really just to have something to run in and make torpedo attacks against enemy capital ships. Alright, well, I don't care about the range. On these, I do care about the speed. I care about the speed a lot. I want a fast torpedo boat. Let's just make it, I think 38 knots will do. Let's make it 38 knots. And skimp a little bit on the bulkheads. Let's ease down our draft a little bit, just a little. I don't like making huge changes here. We'll make her a little bit faster with this. It's just minus 2%. That's fine. We're not going to build many. I'm going to spend money on them. Let's go with the good stuff here. And on this class, I don't think I care that much about smoke interference. Okay. Let's go with the advanced. go with the crappy tower. This thing's really all about torpedoes. I don't think towers matter for that. I don't think accuracy matters for that. Speed matters. We're required to put some kind of gun on it. About a 4-inch. Okay, ooh. We've got triple deck torpedo tubes. Yes, please. Let's put one of those bad boys here. Okay. We want fast torpedoes. We want the biggest size we can get. I think standard ammo is fine. Reduced means she's just one shot. Standard means she can make 2 runs. And I think that's good enough. Actually, what I think would be better how about double launchers, port and starboard? Or, it doesn't like that at all. I'd kind of like to have separate port and start. Yeah. Okay, can we do that with doubles? Yeah. I don't think I can fit triples on that way. That way we get 2 passes from each side. You know, you can make a pass, fire one side, and then flip and fire the other. So instead of, you know, with the center line triple, basically we get an attack of 3 torpedoes, but this way we have 2 tries with 2 torpedoes each, and then run off, reload, and come back and do it again. I think I like that idea. Do it that way. So really it's 4 separate attacks instead of 2 separate attacks. If the geometry works out. Forward weight offset is quite large. Maybe, can we fit a couple little guns back aft? Maybe some 2-inchers. Just to beat up some convoys. Oh, and that now we got aft weight offset. This funnel scooch up a little bit. That tower scooch up a little bit. Okay. HE's fine. These guns, they're just going to be shooting HE all the time. Max HE's fine. Yeah, no fuse is fine. I think all this is fine. It's our that would be a pretty good turning circle for other ships. That seems kind of wide for a destroyer. Is that because of the draft? What happens if I just go back to 0? Not much difference. Actually made it worse. Okay. What happens if I just go all the way down? That really doesn't affect turning circle at all. Because I'm looking at the wrong Wait, put this back to 0. I was thinking beam on that. Well, that doesn't really have much effect either, does it? Huh. I feel like I'm missing something that this should be. Maybe that's really good. I don't know. I do like the destroyers to have some armor to them. Is it going to do anything against the main armament of her target? Not really. Will it help her a little bit against secondaries and transports guns? I think so. Nope, that put her over tonnage. I guess we'll give her a rangefinder. To the extent that it helps at all with her few guns. That's a 3-inch. Let's just go with a trio of 2-inchers back there. Well, I was trying to correct. The torpedoes are so heavy that even small... Okay, 0.9. Okay, let's just ease off a hair on the armor here. Go 0 on the aft bell. Well, I think I want that forward weight. Man. Man, small changes in armor sure do. Okay. We have forward weight offset. What's that do to our torpedo? That's fine. It's less than 1%. I'm going with it. She's probably got a lot of smoke interference, I would guess. Not that much, but on the other hand, apparently we don't need this particular funnel. Still 100% with that funnel. Okay. Second funnel. Big funnel. Now our offset's all messed up again. Oh, I thought we saw we had 100%. We still had 100% with this funnel. I think 72 will do. All right, done with that. Uzak. Fine. Okay. New design. Battle cruiser. Well, let's see. With an experimental Dreadnought 1, we can do 25,000 tons. 22,000 tons, 30,000 tons, with another mouthful of a name there. I'm going to put a quick cut in and then I'll come back to design this battlecruiser. Okay, battlecruiser. We'll go with the 30,000 ton. My idea is to have a pair of these in each of our 3 ports. So basically, that's going to take up 60,000 tons in each port, which is going to leave a lot of room in 2 of them and And we'll leave enough room for the destroyers and cruisers in the other as well. So that's a total of 180,000 tons. So that's about 40-ish%, I think. Not quite 40, about a third maybe of our total port capacity for these 6 battle cruisers. And we're going to spend a lot of money on them, but since this is basically by far the center of gravity of our entire Navy, I think that's okay. I think we got about 500 million, maybe 550 million total upon which to with which to buy our initial Navy. Right, let's go. Okay, so I don't want to skimp on these things. Best towers. Okay. I want pretty good engine efficiency, but it doesn't have to be 100%. I am going to bet that 28 knots is going to be fast enough to disengage from Italian battleships fairly easily. That's my... I'm going to go with that. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be a grave strategic miscalculation. Let's see what... well, let's just see what we get with tall funnel 2, just to start with. That can't be right, can it? Yeah, it can. Just hold on a minute. Let's get our semi-oil. Let's go induced. Let's look at that again. Smoke interference 50%, 20%. Okay. Let's try it with induced. Let's try turbines. Yeah, I know I'm going to want all this stuff. $758 with the hydraulic. What about the electric? $708. We'll do hydraulic. I do want some crew on here for redundancy's sake. Let's go standard. Okay, so now with these engine settings, now what does tall funnel get us? Okay, that's 100%, so that's overkill. How about large wide funnel? Okay. Large funnel. Wow. Man, that's... The small enhanced? No? Okay. I get it looks like the tall funnel is worth it. Oh yeah, because it goes from 24.5 all the way to fit. So okay, we're pretty much intended to use this funnel. All right, fair enough. Okay, I'm probably going to just do a typical. You know, I don't know if I need 4 turrets. I'm thinking the super firing turrets forward and maybe just 1 turret aft. So let's scoot everything back. Let's get a barbette here. I'm going to go with medium 2 just to ensure that We've got clearance over the turret in front. I do want it out a little ways because I want a really good aft firing angle. The ship is probably going to be shooting behind itself quite a bit. Of the base choices, the best accuracy base gun is the Mark III 12, so I'm going to go with that. And then we'll put one back here on the fantail, close to the fan. I thought about putting one up here. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Best armor, group 3. Best barbette. We'll give her some. I'm not going to completely, because there is tonnage too, right? Let's go 1, anti-torp 1. Let's go with a double bottom. Reinforced bulkheads. Anti-flood 1. And best citadel we can get. Okay. She needs to be able to deal with Italian capital ships. Let's go with standard. Let's go with standard ratio on the mains, and let's go in. I think all our secondaries are probably just going to be firing HE all the time anyway. Let's just stay with max HE. Let's go with the stronger AP, toward the stronger end as far as penetration. Let's just go all the way. Capped ballistic 1. Go ahead and give her the heavy shells. And I absolutely do not want this thing running out of ammo. I'm sure the flash fire chance is just hellacious. Yuck. Okay. Okay, I've given her lots of ammo to fire. Enhanced reload. Just get her able to swing those turrets without, yeah, I don't want the... Flash fire is already bad enough. Let's go with advanced hydraulic. Let's go with best stereoscopic rangefinder we have for long range accuracy. If this thing gets into battle, it's going to be the flagship. Let's go ahead and have the additional. I've always felt, I know I said this before, but I feel like these radio techs just way too much. It doesn't seem to make sense. Okay. I like the idea of it having a few torpedoes. Just, it's really more of a standoff weapon on a capital ship, in my mind. Not its main battery, but just the fact that it has some, I think, will influence enemy behavior. So, Standard torps is fine for that. We will go with the 18-inch. But I'm going to stay with the standard propulsion just because it's longer range. So it increases that standoff distance. Okay. I think we've about got all this stuff set. I'm going to take a little risk and bump bulkheads down to many. I think that's still pretty good subdivision. I'm going to leave these as they are. It's just zeroed out for beam and draft. We'll keep the middle range because these are a lot of tons, so you know this isn't really our power projection optimized ship, but we want her contributing to that power projection, of course. And I think that this yeah, increases probability of favorable naval missions, so we want some range so she gets some decent battles too. As a matter of fact, we've got some tonnage to play with here. Let's bump it up. I think I like that. Pitch and roll looks pretty good. Where are we for smoke interference? I don't want to lose sight of that. 29. What happens if I drop it down to steam 2? Oh, well, no. Can't do that. That'd be worse. What happens if I just drop it down to natural boilers? Whew, that hurt the engine efficiency a lot. It did drop our smoke interference a good bit. Is that a good trade-off? Giving up 50% engine efficiency? I don't know. Alright, we're not done yet. We need to get some secondaries on here. I think I like the idea of, I like 5-inch duels on the deck. In the few spots it lets me put them. I do like quite a few of them facing. Can this thing fire over? It's showing that it can, I think. I don't think it's blocked. I'm tempted to put a little barbette there. It looks okay. I'm just not convinced it really is. Okay. That feels safer. It may have been okay, but that feels a little bit better. What did I just do? I just got rid of my tower. That's bad. Okay. Let's see. Casemate guns. How about... Will it let me put 3-inch down in the whole casemates? No. No. Okay. I guess I gotta go 4-inch. Okay, and that threw the weight back forward. We'll deal with that. Okay, I think we've got a pretty good setup here for some secondaries against incoming destroyers and light cruisers to some extent. And all right, let's start fiddling with the. Well, before we get to that, let's go with long 12s. And let's increase their caliber. We're actually going to go with 12.5-inch guns. Okay, that boosted accuracy quite a bit. Let's just leave it there for now. Against 12-inch guns, what are we looking at for, what's our target here for gunnery? Wow. Those are pretty strong. Almost to the point of I'm not sure I can defend this ship against my own guns. So let's bet on what the Italians are going to be using. What if they're going with 13-inch guns? Oh wow, those numbers are pretty big too. And it's going to be kind of an all or nothing scheme. It's going to be main deck, main belt, and turrets. It's going to be extremely light to almost, maybe even almost zero on the fore and aft decks and belts. Just whatever I need to do the weight offset, really. About 10. See, at longer than 10,000 meters, and Italian tech is going to be roughly equal to my own, right? So basically anything further than about 10,000 meters away, there's just not going to be many hits, period. So I'm not that worried about main deck, because it's those long ranges where the plunging fire happens, and you need really thick deck out that way. The accuracy just isn't there yet. So considering that, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 or 11 effective armor on the deck is probably okay, or at least is a reasonable bet. And we've got 115% from our armor quality, so our actual thickness only needs to be a little less than half of that. Let's go main deck like 5.5, and you know, if it's good enough, it's good enough. If it isn't, then we're going to blow up and lose the war. And it's okay because they're pixel ships. We'll just do it again later. Now, then how about $30? Man. Let's go for about a 36-inch effective armor, which means more like 30. Yeah, we need to keep our ranges at around 8 to 10,000 meters. We don't want to get closer than that to Italian battleships, or battle cruisers for that matter. And we'll shoot for 30, somewhere in the low 30s, which means probably about 16 inches of main belt. Is that feasible? Oh, well, it apparently is. This seems really thick. Just for round numbers, let's go 4 inches, 4.5 on the belts, and about 2.5 inches on the fore and aft decks. Maybe an inch on superstructure. It seems logical that the conning tower would be at least as much as the belt. I'm gonna max the hell. I'm just gonna give it as much citadel as it lets me. Okay, we're gonna have to take some weight off, but let's set these important numbers first. Okay, so we need more than 16 inches, I think, on the turrets. Let's go 17.5. And let's go 6 inches on top. Let's max the barbette. Or, well, let's just go the same 16 inches. 17.5 rather. We'll match the turret armor on the barbette. There's only one barbette. I don't really care that much about the 5-inch guns or the 4-inch guns. Alright, I need to find about 1100 armor or ton savings. We'll start by shaving an inch off of the off the fore and aft belts. See if that helps. And decks, 1/2 inch a piece. That didn't really get us that far. Let's pop this range back down to half. I don't want to go... Oh, that did a lot. Okay. I don't want to go below half, though. I think that's okay. Alright, now we just need to find about 100 ton. Okay. So let's take another ½ inch off the fore and aft. All right. Now, we're about in the ballpark, and it's a matter of getting rid of this 6.5% weight offset, which is forward. I don't really want to move these forward turrets backward anymore, though, because I want the firing arc for this turret to be well aft. I don't really want to move this turret aft too much either, because that lengthens the citadel. I'll do one scooch though. See? Because it lengthens the citadel, that just moving that turret increases tonnage again. So let's not do it that way. Well, I did do it that way. Well, let's not do it again. Right, I'm going to lighten the forward belt by ½ inch. And lighten the forward deck by ½ inch. Okay, that got us below tonnage and erased about half of the weight offset we're trying to get rid of. What if I just get rid of this forwardmost 4-inch gun? Ooh, that did it. It overdid it. So we can plop just a little bit of forward belt back on. Ooh. Ooh. Nope. Okay. How about this? Okay, that's maxed out. Well, alright. This is kind of killing my OCD a little bit. However, it's 0.1%. Okay. I think we got a pretty decent I think we're gonna have a pretty decent accuracy on this ship. We do still have the 21 smoke interference. But with the tech that we have, I think it's about as good as it gets. I don't want to drop engine efficiency down again. Sold. This is our battle cruiser, for better or worse. Except for Kronprinzessin Erzherzogin Stephanie. Okay, that doesn't exactly roll trippingly off the tongue. How about, I don't know what's a good name. How about, you know what? I'm just going to go with Stephanie. This is the Stephanie class battlecruiser. Yes, I understand that's probably not historical. But I'm sorry. Historically, they just gave their ships way too long names. I guarantee that every sailor on this ship wasn't running around belting out that full name all the time. I bet all these sailors just said Stephanie 2. So that's what we're going with. Save design. Okay, so right about now would be the place where it's time to summarize what we did for all the folks coming back for this chapter about our ship designs. Okay, we are done designing the ships, and I assume that everyone that skipped ahead is back with us now. For those who went through and watched the design process, I've got a little bit of bad news. Just after I put that cut in, after finishing the battlecruiser design, the game crashed to desktop. And with bated breath, I went back in, started the game, and no, those designs were not saved. So, I have designed them again. And so these are not going to be identical to the design that we watched for most of this episode, but they're quite close. So what do we have here? Let's go in and have a look at these. Well, just the summary here. We've got a battlecruiser. It's armed with 12.5-inch guns. They're longs. And it is quite expensive at $50 million a pop, because I did not spare expenses on these things for doodads and bells and whistles and so forth. We've got a torpedo, a destroyer, torpedo-focused destroyer. Although the actual hull is called Large Torpedo Boat. Anyway, got this design that's got some torpedo launchers on it. Well, it has to. It's a destroyer. And then we've got in these two classes, the destroyers and the battlecruiser, are our primary tactical battleships. Tactical warships. These are the ones that we want fighting the battles. And then we have a very cheap heavy cruiser with 6.5-inch guns, and it is not optimized for fighting in tactical battles by any stretch of the imagination. But it kind of put it together well enough that it should kind of hold its own against at least the lighter ship classes, because it will get pulled into some battles. But at about $10.5 million cost, I actually managed to get this thing a little bit cheaper than the design version, or the design that was in the video. It's about $750 per ton. So for a power projection ship, yeah, she's does the job. All right, let's go through and have a look at these. We're right back to why can't I clear this? I don't understand why this information panel shows up and how to clear that. Okay, anyway, this is our power projection cruiser. It's a little lightly armed with 6.5 inch guns. They are lengthened though, so they've got pretty good penetration for the lighter guns, and I think she will do okay against light cruisers and destroyers and that sort of thing. She has quite a few secondary casemates, and she's pretty cheap. Did not put things like anti-flood, anti-torp. She's burning coal. Her smoke interference isn't that great. Her engine efficiency isn't that great. Can't really show you that because I can't really get rid of stupid. I can't get rid of this stupid info panel here. And anyway, we are going to build a lot of these. But that's what that looks like. Here's our destroyer. Probably didn't need to have it spread so far forward and aft, but gunnery was not the focus here. She does, you know, it has to have some guns. So we got a 4-inch gun forward. We have a little, some little 2 inches back aft. It's enough to shoot up some merchants. You know, her stability and her tower and so forth are not very good for accuracy, but her main battery are these 2 torpedo launchers here midships. And the reason I've got them oriented this way, we do have a triple. I could have put triples on this thing for, you know, like one forward and one, you know, on the center line. But the idea here is, and she's got, I went ahead and put, no, I've got standard ammo. So basically we've got 2 attacks per launcher for a total of 4 attacks. And the idea is she makes her run, she fires a 2 torp spread, turns, hopefully the geometry is such that she can turn, and then launch from the other side and then disengage for reload and then come back in, and she's got 2 more attacks. The likelihood that these ships are going to survive any longer to do more than that is pretty unlikely, and that's why I just kept it at the standard ammo instead of increased. But fast torpedo propulsion, and 18-inch is the biggest size that we have now. And that's what she's really here for. She's here to deal with the larger ships, specifically the Italian battleships. That's what this thing is for. She'll, you know, obviously fight other things, but the Italian battleship that we don't know the attributes of is like the one thing that our battlecruiser may not be able to reliably handle. And so occasionally our destroyers will have a go at them. So that's our destroyer, and then this is what I did for a battle cruiser. Here's our Stephanie class. She doesn't have that many guns. 2 turrets forward, 1 turret aft. These are 12.5-inch guns at the maximum length. Okay, so they've got pretty darn good accuracy, penetration, and I think that these guns will probably do the job against just about everything the Italians could have. Might not be that great against their battleship. We'll see. And that all depends on how the Italian auto-designed ships turn out. I mean, those, they could be terrible, and our cruiser could beat them. But we'll just have to see. But she's I didn't make her incredibly fast, but I think that 28 knots should be plenty fast enough to probably be able to disengage from their capital ships if they're a little too strong. Did put a good bit of range on her. Standard crew. Kept her at natural boilers, and so she does not have superb engine efficiency, but that got her smoke interference way down. And you know, so in terms of maximizing the accuracy of her main armament, I think she's going to be in a pretty good spot for that. Best possible stereoscopic rangefinder available, enhanced loading. She's not going to run out of ammo. I'll put increased ammo on her and heavy shells, and we may be able to sneak a look right here at the, yeah, she does have a fair amount of flash fire chance. But the turrets, the main belt, the main deck are pretty well armored. She has a 17-inch main belt, which translates to, well, that's weird. Why is it 113%? It should be 115% armor quality with the Croup 3. Anyway, so this is translating to, without doing the math, just roughly about 35-inch effective armor in the main belt, and about maybe 13.5 to 14-inch effective armor for main deck, and then even a little bit more than that on the turrets. So, and then I did have to settle for Citadel 1. Just could not get the tonnage down inside limits with Citadel 2. But she's got the max available in the Citadel armor as well. So we're going to have, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these, I think. And really, this is the ship that's going to do the vast majority of our tactical battle fighting for us. At least that's the intent. And I believe that this ship will certainly be able to just murder the cruisers, light cruisers, and destroyers of the Italian fleet. And destroyers is why I put quite a lot of secondaries on it. We've got a lot of 5-inch dual mounts on the deck, and I believe these are 4-inch casemate. And I put a lot of them on there because that's going to be her torpedo, or rather her destroyer and light cruiser defense primarily. And I kind of configured them so that we'd have a lot of them with aft firing arcs, more than forward. And then I think that this battlecruiser ought to be able to handle the Italian battlecruiser pretty well, unless the auto design comes up with an unusually strong design for it. And really kind of the same with the battleship as well. The Italian auto design battleship would have to be fairly strong, I think, for this battlecruiser not to be able to at least hold its own. So we'll see how that works out. So those are the 3 ship classes we have for our starting fleet. That doesn't mean I'm never going to build a light cruiser or a battleship in this campaign, but this is what we're starting with. Okay, so we have about 550 million available in naval funds. So I think I want to spend about 500 million of that, and we'll leave about 60 million available for the start of the gameplay, start of the campaign. We also have about 500,000 tons available in our port capacity. So if I build 6 of these battlecruisers, that eats up about 300 out of our 500 million, about 60%, and takes I don't know, roughly 40% of our available port capacity. So I'm going to build 6 of these. And we will put a pair in each port. And of course, they'll all get jumbled around as they fight and have repairs and stuff. But this is what we're starting with. Okay. I'm going to build 8 of these destroyers. That eats up about another, I guess about 25 million. Okay, and what's our smallest port? Yeah, we'll put them in Cattaro. Right. That leaves us with about 220. Let me alarm there. Sorry about that. That leaves us about 220 million. So what's really the limiting factor there? So we've got enough money to buy like 20 or 22 of those cruisers. But is that the limiting factor? We've got about little less than 300,000 tons of little bit more than 300,000 tons of port capacity to birth these things. And they're 14,000 tons apiece. Well, that works out to just about, yeah. We could actually afford more monetarily than we could fit in the ports. Let's just give ourselves a little bit more robust budget, and I'm going to build 16. So at Cattaro, we've got 2 of these battle cruisers. That's 60,000 tons. We're putting all of our, of course they're small, 15. I'm just going to use 5,000 as a round number. So 60,000, 65,000. We can fit 3 cruisers in Cattaro. I think we can fit about 8 at Spalato. Now let's go with 6. I'm kind of doing math on the fly with ballpark numbers. Oh, yeah. Okay. They'll fit. and we'll put the rest at Pula. I think we're well within our port capacity. And I don't know why some cost $8.13 and some cost $8.99. That's weird. Okay, that's set. That's set. These didn't change with the CTD. Okay, those sliders are where I wanted them. And we've got about 111 naval funds. I could probably get a couple more of those cruisers. Let's get a couple more. Let's build 2 more. All right. So as I mentioned before, you know, we're just gonna, all these cruisers are basically there for power projection. These are our fighters, our 6 battle cruisers, and our 8 destroyers. And with that, I think we are ready to start the campaign. Where apparently nothing happened. Because everyone's at peace, right. But not even any events. That's a little weird. Fleets affect bilateral relations as I think this is from one of the most recent updates. I don't remember seeing this before. So Austro-Hungarian versus British Empire, 4.4. So is that a positive number? i.e. that's helping? Okay, we've unlocked the slightly heavier cruiser, but I wasn't going to wait for this. Okay, what's our power projection? Wow, yeah, and that just goes to show, you know, those power projection ships. We got a buttload of power projection in the East Med. And Italy would be hard. We might be able to impose blockade conditions, at least in the East Med. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Yeah, I really don't know. I haven't seen a blockade since several versions ago, like 1.03 or maybe 1.04. Now that it's done by sea region, like if I get the required superiority in the East Med, does that impose a blockade on Italy? It would seem not, because they still have all their West Med ports. But does that affect their East Med ports? I don't know. At any rate, I think that will do for this episode. We've got our fleet put together, our ships designed, and we're into February 1910. And I don't know how long it's going to take to get into any kind of conflict. Now that we've gone a couple months, though, let's see what these tension. Where are we? Yeah. Okay, so we're at. You know, I think that did improve our relations, because we're not quite as bad off with Britain as we are with France. So I think that little tension event actually was a positive. Anyway, we're still way not very friendly with Britain and France, neutral entirely with Italy, and pretty much buddies with Germany, which seems pretty standard. All right. if you like what we're doing with the channel, if you like the content, then leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. Right now, obviously, there's only this one episode as I record this, but there will be more episodes. So if you're coming in for the first time to the series later on, when there are other episodes, I'm linking a playlist right here so you can easily find your way to the next few episodes. At any rate, thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it.